नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Thank you very much. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 21, Text 4 to 11. Text 4. यदा मेष तुलयोर वर्तते तदाहोरात्राणि समानानि भवन्ति यदा वृषभादिषु पञ्चासु च राशिषु चरति तदानि एव वर्धन्ते रसति च मासी मासी एकैका घाटिका रात्रिषु। When the sun passes through Mesha, Aries, and Tula, Libra, the durations of day and night are equal. When it passes through the 5 signs headed by Vrishabha, Taurus, the duration of the days increases until Cancer, and then it gradually decreases by half an hour each month until day and night again become equal in Libra. Text 5. Yada vrishchikadishu panchasu vartate tad ahoratrani viparyayani bhavanti. When the sun passes through the 5 signs, beginning with Vrishchika, Scorpio, the duration of the days decreases until Capricorn, and then gradually it increases month after month until day and night become equal in Aries. Text 6. Yava dakshinayanam ahani vartante yavada udgayanam ratrayaha. Until the sun travels to the south, the days grow longer, and until it travels to the north, the nights grow longer. Evam navakotaya eka panchasala lakshani yojnanam manasotara giri parivartanasya padishanti tasamina indrim Purim Purvasaman Meror Devadhanim Nama Dakshinato Yam Yam Sangyamanim Nama Paschat Varunim Manim Lochanim Nama Uttarata Saumyam Vibhavarim Nama Tasyudaya Madhyahana Saptamaya Nishitaniti Bhutanam Pravriti Nivriti Nimitani Samaya Visheshena Meroschaturdisham. Shukadev Goswami continued, My dear king, as stated before, the learned say that the sun travels over all sides of Manasatra mountain in a circle whose length is 95,100,000 yojanas, that is 760,800,000 miles. On Manasatra mountain, due east of Mount Sumeru, is a place known as Devadhani, possessed by King Indra. Similarly, in the south is a place known as Sangyamani, possessed by Yamaraj. In the west is a place known as Nimalochani, possessed by Varuna, and in the north is a place named Vibhavari, possessed by the moon god. Sunrise, midday, sunset, and midnight occur in all those places according to specific times, thus engaging all living entities in their various occupational duties, and also making them seize such duties. Text 8 and 9. Tatratyanam divasa madhyangata eva sadaditya tapati savyenachalam dakshinena karoti yatarodeti tasyaha samanam Sutra nipatinim alochiti yatra kvachana syandena bhitapati tasya haisha saman sutra nipate prasavapayati tatra gatam na pashyanti ye tam Samanupashyeran. The living entities residing on Sumeru mountain are always very warm as at midday, because for them the sun is always overhead. Although the sun moves counterclockwise, facing the constellations, with Sumeru mountain on its left, it also moves clockwise and appears to have the mountain on its right, because it is influenced by the Dakshinavarta wind. People living in countries at points diametrically opposite to where the sun is first seen rising will see the sun setting. And if a straight line were drawn from a point where the sun is at midday, the people in countries at the opposite end of the line would be experiencing midnight. Similarly, if people residing where the sun is setting were to go to countries diametrically opposite, they would not see the sun in the same condition. Text number 10. Yada chaindriya paurya prachalate panchadasha gatika yam yam sapada koti yojanam sartadvadasha lakshani sadhikani chopayati. When the sun travels from Devadhani, the residence of Indra, to Sangyamani, the residence of Yamaraj, it travels 23,775,000 yojanas, which is 190,200,000 miles, in 15 ghatikas, 6 hours. Purport. The distance indicated by the word Saadhikani is Pancha Vingshati Sahasradhikani, or 25,000 yojanas. That plus 2.5 crores and 12.5 laksha of yojanas is the distance the sun travels between each two cities. This comes to 23,775,000 yojanas, or 190,200,000 miles. The total orbit of the sun is 4 times that distance, or 95,100,000 yojanas, which is 760,800,000 miles. Text number 11. Please repeat. Evam tato varunim somyam aindrim cha punas tathanye cha graha samadayo naikshatre saha jyoti chakre samabhyudhyanti saha va nimlochanti. Evam, in this way, tata, from there, varuni, to the quarters where Varuna lives, Somyam, to the quarters where the moon lives, Aindrim cha, and to the quarters where Indra lives, Punaha, again, Tatha, so also, Anye, the others, Cha, also, Graha, planets, Soma Adaya, headed by the moon, Nakshatre, all the stars, Saha, with, Jyoti Chakre, in the celestial sphere, Samapyudhyanti, rise, Saha, along with, Va, O, Nimlochanti, set. Translation. From the residence of Yamaraj, the sun travels to Nimlochani, the residence of Varun. From there to Vibhavari, the residence of the moon god. And from there again to the residence of Indra. In a similar way, the moon, along with the other stars and planets, becomes visible in the celestial sphere and then sets and again becomes visible. Please repeat. From the residence of Yamaraj, the sun travels to Nimlochani, the residence of Varuna. From there to Vibhavari, the residence of the moon god, and from there again to the residence of Indra. In a similar way, the moon, along with the other stars and planets, becomes visible in the celestial sphere and then sets and again becomes visible. And again becomes invisible. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, Shri Shri Krishna Balram, Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Ki Jai. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 21, Krishna says, Nakshatranam aham shashi. Of stars, I am the moon. This indicates that the moon is similar to the other stars. The Vedic literature informs us that within this universe there is one sun which is moving. The Western theory that all the luminaries in the sky are different suns is not confirmed in the Vedic literature. Nor can we assume that these luminaries are the suns of other universes, for each universe is covered by various layers of material elements. And therefore, although the universes are clustered together, we cannot see from one universe to another. In other words, whatever we see is within this one universe. In each universe, there is one Lord Brahma, and there are other demigods on other planets, but there is only one sun. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshura Unamilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is a very wonderful set of verses. First of all, it has to be said that this Srimad Bhagavatam has a wonderful structure, how it is designed in 12 cantos. Just remember, while I tell you what I'm going to tell you, that in the preface, Prabhupada mentions that at the end of the 9 cantos, you'll be fully God realized. Just remember that. Okay, so what happens is in each of these cantos, Krishna consciousness is being described through different views, in different perspectives. The first canto, the second, the third, the fourth, and now we're on the fifth. The fifth is understanding Krishna consciousness from the physical universe, just the structure of the universe. One of the difficulties in understanding the Bhagavatam is that you cannot see the forest because of the trees. Because we become too fixed on one shloka, we cannot see the overall pattern. Now, in each of the cantos, there is Krishna consciousness. Each of the cantos, first, second, third, fourth, all the way to the 12th canto. So we lose what is each canto about. This is like a complete education here, a complete education being given. If we attentively hear everything, one of the descriptions of attentive hearing is dharana. You don't forget. You do not forget what you heard. If you remember what you heard, then you can understand what is being said. If you forget, then there's a difficulty. There is a progression, systematic progression, from the first canto to the 9th canto specifically, to become fully God realized. So now, just to dispense with one problem that is associated with the 5th canto, everyone thinks these are not the figures that science declares. The sun is moving, and there are all these other places of residence. And how is it going counterclockwise and clockwise at the same time? This is not the major problem. So the sun rises in the east, and east is that way, and sets in the west. So there is north and south. So we can see that these domains are various directions. These are various directions. They are physical, but from our perspective, they form the horizon, the east and west horizons, the zenith, and the opposite. So each of these directions is either in full sunlight, sunrise, sunset, or midnight. Do you follow? It's not actually very complicated. The problem is we're conditioned to see everything from the way we were taught at school. And the way they teach you in school is actually misleading. Now, maybe I'll address this point first. Why is it misleading? School has something called the Cartesian coordinates, three-dimensional space, X, Y, and Z. So everything is explained by its coordinate to some reference. The reference in school education is the stars. The stars are considered fixed. So according to those stars, everything else is got an X, Y, and Z coordinate. So this is how it progresses. I don't want to give you a whole physics and mathematics lesson, but that's the basis, the Cartesian coordinates. There is another coordinate, the angular. You mark the distance and what angle it is from another body. So these are the two systems of placing everything. It assumes that three-dimensional space is constant and it is perfect. Now, of course, this is challenged by Einstein. He has space is bends according to light. So anyway, another layer of complication. But all of this is misleading. Why? Jayadvaita Maharaj was telling this one time. When they first came out with the CD, the CD holds data. Before that, everything used to be very limited data. CD became very large, 750 megabytes or so. So you could put a movie on the CD. The first CD that came out was the Kama Sutra. So here you have a technology which involves a lot of science. But the first use of it was sex life. So now everyone is saying that we're going to go to the moon, we've been to the moon, we're going to go to Mars. But the purpose is sex life. If you take a dog from in front of MVT gate and you put it in Delhi, in the India gate, it was barking in MVT gate. What's it going to do in the Delhi gate? It's going to bark. To the dog, it doesn't matter whether it's MVT gate or Delhi gate. So the conditioned living being, it doesn't matter if it's a CD-ROM or if it's a cave or if it's virtual reality. His purpose is sex life, material sense gratification. Yahi sansparsha jab hoga. This sparsha jab hoga is all he's interested in. So all this so-called science of Cartesian coordinates and everything, it is meaningless, it is misleading. It has only one purpose: how to enjoy before I die. Now you might think this is not fair, but you have to hold on to this thought and allow me to finish it towards the end. So you see it ties in. Now, spiritually, everything is seen also, but it is not Cartesian coordinates. The way the Srimad Bhagavatam sees the universe, it includes your karma. Prabhupada, on occasion, has mentioned about traveling to America. You need, that it is far away. You need an airline ticket, but you need something else. You need a visa. without permission, you cannot enter that country. You cannot just say it is so many thousand miles away, that's it. It is not full understanding. So this universe with the sun, there is something going on. And that is not just physical space. You are in a jail, and that jail takes the name Earth. You are in a body among the 8,400,000 species. That is your jail. You cannot get out. You can get an iPhone, you can get a jumbo jet, but you cannot get out of your jail. And this jail, so in the second canto, there's a reference to the earth, the sun. And there, this is a common verse, this is quite popular. Ayur harati vai punsam, udyan astam chayan asau, tasyarte yat kshano nita uttama shloka vartaya. Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. So here, Shaunaka Rishi, wanting to get Sutta Goswami to speak more about the Srimad Bhagavatam, he is citing this characteristic of the sun. We're going to learn in later verses after today that there's a unique quality of the sun, and that is it defines time. It defines time. Time, it's not just a localized thing, it's doing something. What it's doing, it's killing everything. Under its influence, everything is got its death allotted by its progress, by the sun. Everywhere, all over the universe, every living entity, on every loka and in every species of life. So the Bhagavatam is focusing on understanding that how the travel of the sun from one horizon to the other, how it is functioning in time and space. It is space, there is space. But the measurement for space in the schools is based on, especially very far objects, is based on the blue shift and the red shift. They believe that if the waves are packed, then the object is coming closer to you. And if the waves become very big, then it is going away. It is a foolish idea because it's based on the spectrum. Red and violet on the other end. So it is assuming that this entire universe is working on that same principle. People don't stop to think that when you have a red light and a green light, the red light is not going away from you. It's there. It's just a red light. But they think there's a red light, that the waves are getting farther away. It becomes a red. It's called the red shift. So they assume distances and speeds according to that. It's very speculative, very nebulous, not very like I said in my last class, they have not gone with a tape measure and measured it. It is a pure speculation. So we have this difficulty. It doesn't help to know this. This is like a volume of ignorance. Ajnana timirandasya. It is not just ignorance, but it's timira andasya. It is very vast ocean of ignorance. So the living entity has to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam and to understand that yes, within space, all these heavenly bodies are functioning. And their main purpose you should understand. Like our main purpose for every invention is sense gratification. The main purpose of the universe is, Prabhupada said this very nicely in the purport. He explained that it is to facilitate the living entity to perform his prescribed duties, to give him his rewards, and to award him death. So I'm just forgetting where I read it. I was reading my notes on the 5th canto. The universe is so constructed to allow us to perform our duties, to get the reward, and to help the living entity die. The sun does that. The sun facilitates these functions. So it is doing it like this. It is doing it like this. It rises in the east, sets in the west. It has a midday and a midnight according to where the sun is. And accordingly, the universe is divided into different quarters of the abodes of the different demigods. So they have a place within this universe. It is not imaginary. And your visa is your karma. Whatever you deserve is where you will be allowed to travel. Not only allowed, you'll be forced to travel. You have no choice. By your karma, you must go there. If it is heaven, which part of heaven? Or if it is hell, which part of hell? And how long for? So if you go through the Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing very attentively each canto, you will learn Krishna consciousness through different perspectives. In the 2nd canto is the perspective of the universal form. In the 3rd canto is the perspective of analytical study of the universe. And on the 5th canto, we've come to the structure of the universe, all the heavenly bodies, and to be Krishna conscious from that. So if you become very attentive, gradually from the 1st canto to the 9th, you will have covered everything that you need to know to become fully God realized. But it doesn't wait till the 9th canto. It starts from the 1st. In the 2nd, in the 3rd, in the 4th, in the 5th. Throughout there is emphasis on being Krishna conscious, but in different context. In different context. So that the human intelligence is designed to be able to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. The dog in front of MVT gate has not been given that design. This design is meant for hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and absorbing it and remembering it and becoming transformed by it. In the second canto, the third chapter is called Change of Heart. So there is a change supposed to take place just by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. So all these changes, the cumulative effect, by the end of the ninth canto is you're fully God realized. You fully understand. All ignorance is dispelled. So this is this very wonderful area where the movement of the sun, this whole chapter, as we progress, after all these details, all these measurements, we'll understand that what the sun is actually doing is facilitating us to perform our duties, giving us our rewards or punishment, and giving death. So, thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments? Yes, Mataji. Can somebody pass the mic all the way to the end?
What's the number of the sloka on the board? It didn't correspond to 11.
It did it? Oh, that says 10. I'm sorry, so I was chanting while nobody could follow. Miss, I was told 11 would be on the board. I didn't look carefully. I just saw that. But here it says 10. Sorry about that. Any other questions or comments on the topic of the class? Okay. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की